I see this erosion in the old paradigm. Here goes Monifa's vision. I see it hitting up against a wall. So what I've been working on is, here goes Monifa's vision, helping us recognize the parts of ourselves that still may have us. That's a part of the old paradigm. That's a part of the old paradigm. Because it's like, imagine if you're needing to accelerate and answer the call, and as you're making way, your jacket gets caught in the barbed wire. And you're hung up. You're caught. And often what's happening is that people are getting caught. They'll lose days from their own momentum, from where they know they want to be, from what they answered, but they'll get caught in something that's spinning and turning with huge amount of reference to the old paradigm. And it will take their energy away from what they've really chosen to take action on. And there was a lot of time for that before. It's not as much now. I studied as an engineer and worked as an engineer, particularly electrical engineer. As I could tell you, if we have built a pole line that's going to deliver electrons to your home from the power plant, and those are not in sync, it will lag behind. Some of those electrons will lag behind. And what will happen if that occurs and they're not in sync, they're not synchronized, not moving together forward to the destination? The whole pole line will collapse. And before it collapses, it will send off a high-tone sound we call ferroresonance. The resonance, it will be sound that will bring it down. And this is the physics. So when we're accelerating out of something that has dominated our thinking and dominated our action, when we know it's time to move in a new direction and to begin to rise whole, we must be able to keep moving. And it really is like the old idea of not looking back. You want to be able to clear the barbed wire. And this is a really good time for recognizing, of observing yourself, going through the day-to-day of what might find you or have you. What has you is your question. What has me? And where do I wake up in the morning and revisit several times during the day to bring myself back into a state of coherence, which means the alignment between body, right? The mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body, the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body. We really want to keep those in alignment because of the coherence. And what comes out of coherence is congruence, which means I can take action with you. And enough of us taking action, then we get cohesion. And that means collectively we can begin to really move. So I learned from Lady's Mantle, which is a plant. She gave me a brilliant message. And she said, here's what you need to know, is that place when we have an open heart and we become fully expressed is a transitory place that requires there to be a mantle. They're literally wearing a mantle that shows that all the chakras up to that point are aligned, but then we make that switch, because in the energy body, right? Those energy lines of the Ida and the Pingala, when they switch at the throat, it comes up into the cranium on the opposite side. And that throat is the transition of that. Well, what is the throat about? It's the power of what you're voicing. And that's the power of now. That's also a part of what I hear in the she became we. It's understanding together and supporting each other in staying where we're holding vision. Here goes Monifa's vision. The voicing of our vision. Well, whenever we're voicing the power of your speech, because it creates. Here goes Monifa's vision. When that becomes aligned and there's no discrepancy between how you feel, how you move, and what you say, there's power. What we want to be able to recognize is what real, true power is. We're mistaken to think that power is what's being conveyed to us of the old paradigm. It actually has no power if, in fact, it can't even sustain and maintain what it creates. So we need to know now what we truly value and what true power is, and lean in. Here goes Monifa's vision. To concentrate the energy by where we're placing our attention and where our actions are going each day. So there's a stronger and stronger field, a morphogenic field that will support us coming together as a group in a coherent way in which we just simply give rise to a whole new future. And that's what I know I'm here for. As the world begins to recognize the institutions that we've relied on are really coming to their end, and more of the conversation is around recognizing nature. And so I'm there working in those places that I've worked to open up a recognition of nature in small ways. Here goes Monifa's vision. But it's the consciousness that I'm after. It's the high state of play that we enter when we recognize our connection with nature, our oneness with nature, that literally while we're in these forms, our body is of this body, the earth, all those things. When we recognize those connections, now we can deal with the complexity involved in giving rise to a new future and thinking about what we're creating so it's not harmful. So that's why I say I have no direct call to what I'm doing, but I do want you three ladies to know that the nature of what we're about, no matter what that may look like in your projects or what your offerings are, the things we want to be paying attention to is that they are going to be able to transfer into a new future that is in harmony with nature.